to celebrate. Aussie CAD, Aussie Swiss, Aussie Yen, Pound Aussie, and Euro Aussie. Notice in these 6 pairs, I have Aussie on the left side in the beginning, on the left side, on the left side, on the left side, but then on these 2 different colored ones, Aussie's on the right side. It's not on the left side, it's on the right side. So that's why I put them in different colors. So you can do this as well to keep it simple. Now, what this is you can set up these charts so you can see them all at once. Sometimes it helps if you have multiple monitors as well, so you can see multiple correlations at the same time, although it's not necessary. You'll need a monitor to do this, but please don't do this on a cell phone. And please, you don't really need to have multiple monitors to do this. Okay, so some people really do overkill. That's too much, 2, 3, 4, 5 monitors. That's a little too much. You don't need to do that. You can, but you don't need to do that. The underkill is the worst. You don't want to do this on a cell phone ever, ever. Okay, more monitors, okay. It's overkill, but okay. Less than 1 or going smaller on an iPhone or your Samsung device or whatever on a mobile device, I highly recommend do not do that. Don't do correlation on a cell phone. Okay. So you want to set it up. You want to set up each group like Aussie, USD. So if you want to write this down, there's going to be multiple groups that you're going to be working with. You're going to have Aussie. You're going to have CAD. Okay. You're going to have Pound group. Okay. You're going to have Euro. Okay. You're going to have New Zealand. You're going to have Japanese Yen. You're going to have USD, and you're going to have Swiss franc. Okay, so you want to get all 7 pairs for each. So Aussie is going to have Aussie USD, Aussie CAD, Aussie Pound, Aussie Swiss, Aussie Yen, Euro Aussie, Pound Aussie. Then Euro is going to have Euro USD, Euro Pound, Euro Yen, Euro CAD, Euro, everything. So you want to get all the list for each of them ready. So when you open up that chart layout, all the pairs are already there set for you. You got to do this one time. You got to set this all up one time. Okay. Okay. Some of you guys are saying the chat on your right screen, it's blocking the right side of the screen. Are you guys able to see my screen? I mean, it's from here to here. The chat is for me to see, so I know what you guys are typing. I hope it's not interrupting, what I'm trying to show you guys here. You guys are saying remove the comments so that way we can see. Is it on top of my charts? Okay. So you guys are saying you guys can see it fully. Okay. The chat overrides the chart. Oh, okay. Anyways, you guys heard me say all the pairs, right? We got Euro, Pound, Aussie, New Zealand, Swiss, Japanese Yen, USD. These are your pairs. You want to make a full list for each of them. Okay. Now that you have that, right? Now that you have that, whether you look at it from a 60-minute or a daily or whichever way, whichever time frame that you generally like to trade, what you're looking for is similarities. So for example, one similarity is the direction the same? So in this case, in Aussie USD, we have a downward flow. In Aussie CAD, recently we have a downward flow. Aussie Swiss, downward flow. Aussie Yen, down-ish approximately. Okay. Pound Aussie, this is now inverse. Remember, Aussie's on the right side now. So we have an upward flow, which is correct. And Euro Aussie, upward flow, because it's opposite, right? Remember, Aussie's on the right-hand side here, so which is correct. That means all of these items are in sync. Okay? When you have sync like that, we say Aussie is correlating. What does that mean? Okay, so let's talk about this. We're going to take a step back and we want to talk about this real quick. Okay, because it's important first to understand what is trading. Okay, and then we're going to go back to the charts. I want you to bring that perspective into the charts. Many people, when we meet up, or when I meet students live in person, and they say, "Man, I've studied all your courses, I've done all your webinars, I've attended everything live," and then I ask simple questions about, so, do you see the demand in this? And they're like, I don't know what you mean by that. So it's very important. Obviously I do explain it. I want to explain this now again for you guys. There needs to be some kind of a pillar for you guys. Okay, a pillar that happens to be your backbone of how trading needs to be done. Okay, so how many of you guys in this room are have been to my webinars before? I just want to check this really quick. Is this your first webinar with Urban Forex? Okay, I want to know that, or if you've been here before. Okay, we'll give it another few seconds and then we will begin. Okay, well, the reason why I'm giving you a few seconds so I can have some cake. Okay. Good. Okay. So, have a look. 10% of you guys are saying it's your first time here. Welcome. Okay. And 89% of you guys have been around to these webinars before. Okay, great. Now I know how much, how I need to word my stuff in this webinar so you guys can also understand. Okay. All right. So what we need to do is now try to understand a couple of things. What's our job in the market? Okay, what's our job in the market? Okay, we're gonna use this as an example. Okay, this is a Japanese Coke bottle, right? It's a Japanese Coke bottle. Now, let's say suddenly, out of nowhere, the demand for regular Coke goes down. They're saying it has too much sugar. I don't like the way the Coke is. I like the way Japan makes their Coke because their sugar content is a little bit different. And the world wants the Japanese Cokes, for example. Okay, and you live in Thailand, for example. So everybody in this room is living in Thailand. And you guys want Japanese Coke. You're like, I've been seeing everything. I've been seeing every single thing on Instagram, on YouTube, and now suddenly I want to join this craze of Japanese Coke. That's what I want. Suddenly, the supermarkets in Thailand, they become hot in demand for Japanese Coke. Okay, now what happens is the supermarkets say, I have 10. Okay, what they're doing is now they're going to start trading with you. They're going to say, I have 10 of these in stock right now. I'll have 10 more coming in 2 weeks' time. And you will say, I'll take it. But another guy might come behind you and says, what's he going to pay you for those 10? My son really likes this weird stuff. I'll pay you double what he's paying you because it's what's hot right now. Everyone understand that? You guys understand how it changes the dynamic of the price. The price that was set is called equilibrium, which means someone says this is $1, you pay $1, trading complete. Someone says $1.50, you say, okay, $1.50, exchange, trading complete. But if there's not enough available and you say $1.50, the next guy comes behind you and says $5. The next guy comes behind you and says $40. Trading is not complete, but the price is rising. The price is going up. That's what's happening to your charts. That is exactly what is happening to your charts. You must get this through your head. Okay? It must register. Click, click, click. Inside, deep inside, it needs to register. Because if you don't understand that, you're not trading, you're gambling. Because everything else that you do is strictly a pure waste of time. You are just running a weird rat race that makes no sense. learning a new indicator, learning a new system, learning a new signal service. You're just going to waste time. Okay, so click, right? Deep inside. Okay. Once you understand that, then when you see a chart going upwards in a particular way, you now understand not that it's a buy. You understand not that it's a green candle. What you understand is, wow, people really must want that. Whatever that is, people must really want that. So in this case, when I see everybody in Thailand wanting this thing, but they can't get their hands on it, and everyone says, I'll pay more. If I look at it on a chart from a distance, if I look at it on a chart and I see the price going up very quickly, what's going to come into my mind is there's a lot of demand for this and they cannot get their hands on it. What if I can get some? I can sell it to the guys in Thailand for a premium and they will pay me for it. That makes me a trader. Okay, that makes me a trader. I have spotted the gap in the market where you cannot get, and I am saying I will get some, but you better pay me a premium for it. That's how a trader, has to make his money. And now you put yourself in the same trading shoes, and now you know where your money is supposed to come from. It doesn't come by randomly clicking buttons on a buy or sell. That's not how you make money. You make money because you're fulfilling a requirement of the market. Does everyone understand that? Okay, this is very, 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 very critical. Very critical. You must understand that. Okay. Now that you understand that, what our job is, we're looking at what is the role. Okay. Now let's go back to our charts. Okay. So this is something that, it took me a long time in my career before I looked at this and said, oh my God, I can't believe I've never looked at it. I can't believe I never looked at it this way. Okay. All right, here we go. This is the 60-minute chart on US dollar. Okay. So all of you guys, you don't need to type this. You guys can just say it out loud with me as you see this. Euro USD. We're going to go one by one. Okay. It's going down, this chart. Pound USD. It's going down, this chart. Okay, Aussie USD is going down. New Zealand USD is going down. Now notice USD in these black colored backgrounds is on the right side. So all of the ones on the right side are going the same direction. Now USD is on the left side. This is going up. So it's opposite. That means everything is correlating. What that means is if this chart goes down, it means US dollar is strong. Okay, if the chart is going down, that means the left one is weak, right one strong. Okay, so the chart always represents the left currency, the left one. So if this chart is going up, that means this one's strong and opposite is weak. This one's strong and this one is weak. Okay? Does everyone understand that? Anyone confused up until this point? So where the currency is written makes a difference in the direction of the chart. This helps you to understand, is there a correlation? This is the main reason why I made two of them in different colors, so I don't get confused when something is written in a flipped orientation. So I look at this as, okay, in Euro USD, strong. Pound USD, strong. USD Swiss franc, going this way, so strong. USD CAD, strong. New Zealand USD, strong. And Aussie USD, strong. It's strong across the board. Okay? Then, the next thing you want to do is take a look at your swings. Okay, you want to look at your swings. So let's say between the 24th and the 25, you have a swing low here. And then your next swing low is here. So if I draw that, it'll look like this. Same thing between the 24th, 25th, you have this until that. Okay? Between the 24th and 25th, you have approximately here. And then the 26th, just before, it's there approximately. Okay? 24, 25, you have here and approximately there. You know, somewhere in this area there. Okay? Same thing and same thing. What I do by drawing these things, it tells me who's much more intense. It tells me the intensity. So if I have something that is going lower low like this, but this one goes lower low like that and it stops. I'm like, wow, he's done 70 pips and he's done 10 pips. Let's say this one doesn't go anywhere. It goes sideways. This one goes down only 15 pips. This one goes down 10 pips. This one goes 20 pips. Are they all still correlated, would you say? Are they all still correlated? Absolutely, they're correlated. Now, one thing you need to understand is the intensity. Okay? Just because something is doing less than the other, they're still correlated, right? So, you know, this one still says dollar strong. This one, because it went down, dollar strong. This one's saying nothing. This one, even though it's 20 pips, it's strong. 10 pips is but strong. 15 pips, strong. But what it's basically trying to tell you is they're in sync, but the power is not there. The power is not there. Now, what many people make a mistake in this process is, in this process, they say, oh, dollar has a sink. I must trade dollar strength. No matter what happens, I must trade dollar strength. Okay, so two parts to that. One, very good understanding of the dollar. You will never see this in one single currency pair, but if you open it up like this and you look at the whole correlation like that, you will find information that you would not normally find. Okay, which is good. It's telling you dollar is on the move. Dollar is on the move. If you do something in dollar, chances are you're going to make money. Okay, because it's on the move. It's got to be on the move for you to make money. Okay, now, how much on the move? Is it aggressive? Has it got weaker? Has it got slower? Remember I was saying one did 70 pips, the other ones did 10, 15, 5. If the energy is slowing down, you tell me, do the people really, really want this? Or they're like, you have 10. Can I have 2? I don't really need 10. Are they really paying you whatever price you want for it? Are they paying you whatever price? No. They're saying, just have a small requirement, not that high. If the requirement is smaller, then your precision needs to be higher. I'm going to say this word again. If the requirement is smaller, your accuracy and precision must be 1,000% stronger. Otherwise, you're not going to make any money. But if the requirement is very high, you can have a very poor performance and you'll still be okay. Your precision might be okay, like, let me buy some over here, I'll sell it to him later. You'll be fine. Okay? If the demand is strong, even if your timing is not right, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Does that make sense? Because people are willing to pay anything. How many of you guys in this room remember the Labubu craze? And to answer me this now, do you still hear the Labubu craze as it used to be a few months ago? Right now, Labubus are selling for $10 again. $10. I remember when I was buying it for, colleagues and teammates as gifts and presents, I paid close to $100 at that time. $100 I paid for a $10 item. Do you see the discrepancy in terms of when it's on demand, the price will change? It's the same product. The price is going to change. Does that make sense? And some of you guys were asking, what is a labubu? This little rascal is a labubu. Okay? So this little beast, this little beast is no longer popular as it used to be. There's no longer an issue of supply. Every store has one available for sale now compared to before. So it's very important that you use these real world scenarios to help you understand that when things go crazy, you need to position yourself to get your hands on some of it and sell it for a premium. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So when all of you guys who are located in Thailand and said, I really, really want that Japanese Coke. I really, 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 really want it. And I'm looking at it from a distance and I'm like, well, I don't really care for Coke, but I think I can make some money. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll go to Japan. I'll find a way to say, hey man, can I get some of this? It's like, hey, it's super hot right now. I'll buy 20 of them from you right now. I'll pay you $5 a piece. The guy's like, all right, take it. Fine. I got my hands on $5 a piece. And I know in Thailand, they're willing to pay upwards of $20 for this because it's gone out of control. Now, whether I sell it for 7, 10, 15, 17, 8, am I in profit? Am I in profit? You guys tell me. The answer is yes, I will be in profit. My only job is to understand how bad do you want it? It better be bad. If it's not bad enough, then I need to be a very sharp businessman and saying, I will not give you $5 a bottle for this. I want this for $4.22. If you don't give it to me for $4.22, I can't buy it. My margins are that thin. I cannot make any money off of this thing if it's any more than that. That means people will not buy it for more than $5. And you're squeezing out every penny, every little penny. Does that make sense? You cannot win a game like that. It's very difficult. You better be excellent at pricing. Before I continue, I want you guys to write in the chat, did that make sense to you? Do you understand what I just said? Because you need to replicate what I just said on a chart. I'm going to take it to the charts now. I'm going to show you a trade I'm in as well, and we're going to talk about this. I need to know you know what I just said and you understand what does that mean for my Forex trading charts? Is it the same? Is it different? It happens in real world, but not in Forex, not in charts. That's not possible. What do you think the charts are? It is a visual representation of what you normally do. That's all it is. We forget that sometimes. Okay? So, if you know people really want something, then it makes a whole different thing. Now, shall we now bring this back to our charts now, and we look at it from the charts? Yeah, some of you guys saying, aha, click, click. Okay, it's going in. It's got to go deep inside, right? Deep inside. Okay. All right, deep inside. Here we go. All right, we're going to go back to the charts now. Let me open my screens here. Again, those of you guys who are just joining, today is our 16-year anniversary. So we will be giving special promotions on our programs for first-time comers who are first-timers for Urban Forex, including some of you guys who want the advanced programs who are already students. But I will talk about this towards the end. So watch out for that special announcement. So I think you guys will like it. So, but right now I want to, I don't want you to not understand this piece, because the core basis of everything is you to understand this. Okay, you must understand this. Now, We've made it easier with, a lot of you guys already use our app called Market Beats. So we did make it a little bit easier where correlation is tracked for you. But this is not, I wouldn't recommend to do this when you're first starting off. So this is a shortcut. You can get it on the iOS and all the app stores, including your desktop. But I wouldn't recommend doing it if you're just starting off. I want you to manually do correlation in the beginning until you get it into your bones, in your soul of, I wonder what correlation is and how does it help me. Now, if this movement down, look at this right now. He's made a low, then a new low, and then higher low. This has made a low, a new low, and then a lower low. This went higher. This went lower. Which one do you think has more power to the sell side? Which one do you think that has more power to the sell side? Okay, it's going to be an easy thing to answer, right? Now, here we go. Here's another one. We got a low. This is lower, and then much higher. It's not lower. It's much higher. What this is going to tell you essentially is you can rank them. Oh, wow, this is like super, super strong for USD. This is meh, meh. This one is blech, right? Yeah, it's not so good because it's like going upwards. And then this one is equal low, and it's like, okay, it's also fine. This is very fine, right? And then if we see these ones, we had this thing going higher, and here we are. This thing going higher, and here we are. Wow. Okay, so this is more of a Mamma Mia type, which is like, wow, this thing's amazing, right? So we got multiple options here that tells us if you're gonna go with US dollar strength, they're already giving you clues on which one is good, which one is not good. So already we can eliminate. We can say, if I'm going to sell and do US dollar strength by selling these things, well, I know I don't want to do the meh and the bleh. Okay, I know Aussie seems to be much better at going down. So this looks like a prime candidate. Okay, prime candidate. And this looks like my second runner-up. Okay, this is also a meh. So I don't want to do this one. But this one is a Mamma Mia. This also looks great. Great. Amazing. So I'm down to 3 contenders. Okay, I haven't done any technical analysis yet. All I'm doing is understanding of if I have to trade US dollar, I know where to put my focus on. Okay, if I want to continue in that direction. Now, why would I want to continue in that direction and not counter trend it? Can any of you guys try to answer that? I want you to think about it. Why should I continue in that direction and not try to trade against it and counter it? Okay, I want you guys to think about that for a second. I will have one cake bite in the meantime. Okay. Trust OTA, you're saying because everyone is desperate of it? Good. I think trust OTA, you had the question about if things look different from each other, if I'm not mistaken, right? In the pre-webinar discussions we did before. Okay. I hope I've answered that. Or someone asked that question. I hope I've answered it. Yeah. Okay. So to go with the flow, never go against the big boy, because the dollar is very strong. The trend is your friend. Okay, good. All of these answers are correct. Now, without going with the popular vocabulary, right? You know, the trend is your friend, never counter trend, and all these things. Without going under the popular discussions, I want you to think about it this way. Just make it simple. If you know the entire world is trying to get rid of, is trying to do US dollar strength. If the entire world is trying to do US dollar strength, if you buy this thing, all they're going to do is say, I'll take it. Because someone is offering them the Coke finally. And they'll say, oh, really? Thanks, man. Why would the price go up? It's less likely because they want it so badly. So the first thing you must do is identify how badly. Okay? Correlation will help you do that, to help you identify how bad is this requirement. Is it super, super required? Then don't go against it. Do not counter it because it's a losing proposition. Tell me you guys understand this right now, and I will tell you the next secret. Tell me yes, you understand this. If you don't understand it, you can say I'm confused. I'll try to explain it in a different way. Okay? Okay, yes, yes. Okay. Good. Now, if I do this, if I say, oh, this is a major support, and you can see in this support, we've had a faker, and this is called a double bottom. And a double bottom means we should buy. Okay? Notice how I'm doing technical analysis right now, and it has no basis in any merit. There's no basis of what I'm saying at all. I'm just labeling things. Okay, some people are saying you're confused. Okay, so I'll try to explain it in a different way and see if it makes sense. Now, the parts that you guys are confused about, is it the part of correlation or is it the part of the strength, the power? Okay, because this is going to take an understanding of, let me switch it around here. Let me switch it around here because it's going to be easier if it's in a different direction. Let me see if I can find one. I think pound is in a buy direction. It's easier to see it maybe in one way. Let me go to 60 here. No, not pound. 1 second here. Let me see if I can find euros. Let me see euros. Euros. Euros is not necessarily correlating. Okay, all right. Let's take a look at this one. Okay, does everyone understand here? Take a look at this group. Now, in Euro USD. Now try to do this with me. Okay, Euro Aussie. All the euros are on the left side. This one, this one, this one, all of them, they're on the left side. So there is no difference in colors. Okay, so if I start from the bottom, Euro Aussie, this way. Okay, and we do the detail analysis, which is, I can see it's upwards, but I see this low is the same, a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. This one is also upwards. This low, ooh, higher, great. Higher, great. Higher, and here we are. Okay. This looks better. Okay, this looks better. This one is high, also going upwards, but here's the low. Same low, same low, same low, same low, same. A little bit higher, a little bit, ooh, lower low. This is yuck. Yuck, nasty. Okay, ugh. Okay. So what it's telling you, there's correlation, but there's some that is better than the others. Now, Euro Swiss franc. Is this up? Is this down? So all you have is one big question mark on this. Like, I don't know the direction. in Euro CAD, well, that clearly looks like a down. So that's not matching. This one is clearly down. This is not matching. So we don't have everything saying matching. This is not the same as this. It's not matching. So you would say there is no correlation in euro. We will not be focusing on euro because the world is not focused on euro. So what am I doing in euro? I am wasting my time in euro. No need. So I drop it. Now, when we were in dollar, it's all beautiful, right? In dollar, it was all beautiful. We had this wonderful sync across everything. Nice down, nice down, nice down, nice down. Reverse, nice up, nice up. Wow, it's like so beautiful, right? And amongst that so beautiful, some of them are even stronger. Okay? How do I know they're even stronger? The low got lower, but then it's not lower. The low got lower and then even lower. Wow. Look at that power. The low got lower and then equal low. Okay. Why not? This thing is inversed. It's going the other way. So the low got higher and then a little bit higher. Like he's moved up a little bit higher. Okay, great. This is nice. Okay. And this one is getting higher. And then since this moment, it hasn't been higher. So it's like, meh. I don't like it that much, but okay, why not? So what it's trying to tell you is when you have correlation, even in correlation, you got to get picky and saying, which one, if I had to choose, which one would I put my money on? So it's like this. If you have extra cash and you know now the markets have come out of a rebound and the world, everybody's looking to buy properties again. Okay, let's say you're a house buyer. Now you have a choice. Buy a house in the US, buy a house in the UK, buy a house in Thailand, right? And you're thinking which one is people going crazy for? You're like, in the US, with the political system, I don't know if everybody wants to do that anymore. There's lots of robberies in San Francisco. In London, people are getting stabbed. In Thailand, there's nothing but great massages, right? So should I buy in Thailand? And then when you look at Thailand, you see everybody wants to buy in Thailand. You're like, hey, I think I can make some money there because everybody wants to buy there, right? So that's how you got to think is where is everybody going? Where is everybody going? Because that's when you become the best agent and you're saying, I know what you want. Let me help you. Let me help you. So I'm going to show you my position here. Okay, let me see if I can open this. Everyone can see my screen, yes? I'm going to try to... I'm in a position with New Zealand USD right now. Okay, it's currently jumped up a little bit, but I'm in a position right now. The trade is running for approximately $10,000. Okay, I'm in for 97 standard lots. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm in this one, going in this direction, Now, notice my average price is 5773, which is here. I entered here yesterday, 5773, right there. Now, which one was the strongest one that you guys said when you guys were doing it with me? Okay, which one was the strongest one? Okay, the strongest one you guys are saying right now is Aussie USD, right? So if that same location, if I had entered on this one, will I be in much more profit? Right? Look at the distance here. I'm in profit from that to that much. Here, I would be in profit that much. You see? So sometimes not only does it protect you by making sure you don't get onto the bad trades, but it helps you also be in the faster and better moving pairs because you know that the demand for that particular item is extremely good in that particular one. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, same thing here. If I was to do this in the Mamma Mia one, which is thereabouts, I would have been entered, and the price is now up until here. Even the Mamma Mia one is a bit better, right? But just a few hours ago, it was really, really good on the Mamma Mia one. Does that make sense? Okay, some of you guys are saying, what about leader and laggard? That's all urban Forex terminology, right? I'm trying to teach you guys this thing without going into any vocabulary. I want you guys to just look at this and saying, what is this weird brown man on my screen trying to tell me? I don't want you to go home and like, oh man, I gotta take a lot of notes. I gotta learn these words. I don't want you to do any of that stuff. I want you to say, do I understand? That's what's important here. Do you get it? If you get it, you're good. No words and vocabulary that you have to study is gonna make any difference. You need to get it. Does it make sense? Okay. Now, if in all of these things you're starting to understand what we're gonna do, so you guys are understanding that not only do you need to find correlation, so I like correlation when we have 6 or more, okay? 5 or more. Okay, you see we have 6 pairs here. If I have 5 or more, I like it. I think we have correlation in the market. Okay, once I have correlation, I need to make sure it's still hot. Okay, is it still hot or did the demand disappear? If the demand is still hot, I can do something. I can provide a service as an agent and get them the coke and let them make some money. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, with all of these things that you understand and is going on right now, let's take it a step further. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys, I'm going to show you guys in one of these pairs here. Let me open this up here. Let me move this to the side. And I'm going to show you here. If one of your chart does this, another chart does this, another chart does this, another one does this, another one does that, another one does this. Do we have correlation? Is there a correlation? Okay. Now, if you guys are saying yes, excellent, good job. Now, is there strength on this? If you had to trade, I'm not telling you which one is what pair. If you had to trade, can you tell me where do you have your better options? Can you tell me which one you would have better options? Okay, so Nick, you're saying top 3. Okay, good. So yeah, a lot of you guys are saying top 3 or the third one. Okay. Now, if these are your best options, does that mean you must buy it right there? Is that where you have to buy it? Does that mean buy it right there? No. So just because you understand correlation and just because you know which ones are better, it doesn't mean you have to move away from what you already know. You still have to buy things at a good deal. If you buy them at a good deal, can you? So a lot of you guys are saying, good, wait for a better deal or wait for a discount. Now, what's a discount? It means price needs to come down a bit. So if price comes down till here and you're like, oh my God, I should buy it right now. Should you buy it right there? Should you buy it right there? Okay, so Raleigh, you're saying wait for a good deal. Good. So don't just willy-nilly just buy it because Yeah, but I saw this on a lower time frame, and the lower time frame did a trend pullback, and the pullback broke its trend line, and it was at the 12.8% Fibonacci numbers, and there was a strong support and resistance, and my grandma was screaming at me, and my dog was turning yellow, and the stars were lined up. What does that have to do with anything? You know how to think. Don't get confused with the noise and fluff of understanding how the market works versus just willy-nilly just making random stuff and saying that's what's important. Why? You know, you don't need to do all that stuff. You don't need to say, you see, there's an SNR right here. This SNR comes from 1960, and that SNR is so strong, so good, that it's going to make it a buy. No, like you got to put some logic into it. And even if the SNR is so good, do you want it? Now, here's a difficult question. Do you want it? Suppose the market does this and you didn't trade it. Suppose the market did that and you didn't trade it. Does that mean you did something wrong and now you have FOMO and next time you're going to chase that? One of you guys had asked me in the pre-webinar calls, you guys had asked me of, how do you do patience? How do you have patience? If you know in terms of your education, what we just talked about, don't you automatically have patience and saying, even if it works, I don't want it because that doesn't make any sense for me. Why would how can I make money on that? What if it doesn't work? You now know that there's no way that something like that will catch you off guard because of impatience. You will automatically have your patience will come through knowledge. It will not come through sheer willpower. Willpower is very difficult to do. But education will come naturally once you do it and you already know that doesn't make any sense. I don't want to do this. But you must internalize what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. So I want to ask all of you guys, there was 10% of you guys in this room that were new, 90% of you guys who are already students or have been with me before. Does it make sense? Is everything I talked about today, does it go in? You know, does it register inside of what's this game that we're playing? What do we do with trading? How do we make money in trading? It's got to make sense. It's got to make sense. I really wanted to make sure that today's webinar, you know, since we're doing our 16-year anniversary webinar, sorry about eating it this side, but I really wanted to make sure that, you know, you, by attending this webinar or attending any of our webinars, we try to give as much value as we can, but that you try to understand that enough wasting of time. You know, I've wasted a lot of time in the past. It took me 7-8 years to crack this thing. I wouldn't even say crack this thing because there's no such thing as cracking it. It's a never endless learning journey because it keeps getting adjusting and adapting and stuff like that. But the more you try to understand this, you start to realize if you have a framework, a basic framework, you will get better. Automatically, you'll get better. Do you guys agree? Do you guys agree? Now, based on everything we just talked about today, can you understand where the demand is? Does that make sense? Can you know where the demand is? Absolutely, right? So now that you understand how to understand where the demand is, you know where to put your focus on. And from that focus, you know that even if there's a technical setup, you're like, but in that location, it doesn't make any sense. So that's not what I'm going to do. So now, without even you learning techniques on how to filter, you know, the filter techniques, if this indicator does this, then you don't trade. If this indicator does that, then you don't trade. I just gave you a universal filter that you can apply lifelong in any style of trading. And it will tell you, don't do it, or you're okay. Now you can try. But there are some of them will be clearly red flags saying, why would you want to do it there? It makes no sense. Don't do it. Don't do it. And that's going to keep you away from a lot of bad trades, a lot of bad trades. Does that make sense? So Ion S, you're saying, can we do correlation on stocks? Absolutely, absolutely. So I got tons of stocks that I do as well for long-term investments. I do look at correlation on them all the time, all the time. In stocks, the correlation is industry specific. Okay, industry specific. Now, so one of you guys are saying, Ugo is saying, can you repeat on more example, please, sir? Shall we do one more example? Shall we go back to the charts and do one more example together? I know some of you guys are asking about the promotion and stuff. We'll talk about that in a bit, but we'll do one more example before I tell you guys about the promotions that we have running. Okay, all right, let's do one more. There we go. Okay. Let me open up the screen here. Okay, you guys should see my screen. Yeah, let's take a look at a different pair here. Let me open up CAD. Okay, you guys are gonna walk with me on CAD, okay? Maria Reyes, you're saying, what do you mean industry specific in stocks? So if I'm looking at AI, then I want to look at all the AI companies. If I'm doing a airline company, then I want to see how all the other airlines are doing. That's how I do correlation. So I don't look at, is the whole stock market up or down? I look at it only in that sector. Okay, hope that helps. Okay, now let's take a look at this. Now let's do this one together. Okay, this is Aussie, this is the CAD group. So all the CADs are on the right hand side except one of them. Okay, everything's on the right except this last one is on the left. Okay, so this one says down, this one says down, this one says up, so that's weird. This one says down, but look at my MAs. This was a question that some of you guys brought up, but what's the use of the MAs in correlation? Look at how the MAs are in this one. They're all pointing down. They're all pointing down. Look at the MAs on this one. The charts are down, but the MAs are angled upwards. That means the higher time frame is in a buy mode, not in a sell mode. That's a problem. Okay, so the MAs help. I don't need to switch to a higher time frame. I can see it. Excuse me. Okay, this one is down and this one is up. So do we have correlation? You guys tell me. So I'm going to make it clean. This was down. This was down, 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 up. Okay, and then up. Do we have correlation? Okay, so the ones that are all in black, are they saying down, all of them? No, one of them doesn't agree. This one doesn't agree. Okay, but 4 of them do. In fact, 5 of them do. So 5 agree. They're saying yes, CAD has correlation. Now, you tell me the next. What do? We look for the strength of it, right? You look for the strength of it. So how does the strength look? It was super strong down and then super strong down and then super strong down and then strong down and then strong up and then it seems like it's losing its momentum. Not to mention, what's wrong with the MAs on this one? Why is the MAs pointing upwards while we're trying to go downwards? There's something fishy there. Does that make sense? So a lot of them is telling you that looks like that it's not a sustainable demand compared to US dollar. The CAD doesn't have sustainable demand. Does that make sense? You see how I very quickly looked at this and saying, I don't want anything to do with CAD. That means CAD is off my radar. Now, from a list of things that I can trade, I know I don't want to get sucked in by any of the CADs because I'm going to make a wrong trade. That makes it easy. That's 7 less things to worry about. Does that make sense? So all I did was some simple things that you and I can do together, just by looking at it without doing anything technical just yet and saying, what do I understand? Oh, yes, there's correlation, but it's not great, is it? It's not great. The correlation, even though like this one is clearly down, we are all seeing, why is the MAs upwards? What's wrong with the MAs that are upwards? Right? So it's not a sell mode as we were imagining. Look, if I shrink the charts, the MAs are telling me it looks like a sell mode just here, but it's not really a sell mode. Does that make sense? So the moving averages help in that section. Now, this is a little bit more of an advanced topic. I wanted to give you guys a little freebie today because, it is our 16th anniversary, and a lot of you guys had asked for, I want to go beyond just the basics, and this is one of those things that goes beyond just the basics. But I wanted to explain it to you guys in a way that it doesn't have to be advanced. How many of you guys in here that I can say that are watching this thing, do you guys feel this is extremely complicated? Like, is this hard to understand? I'm not saying if you don't understand it, it shouldn't be like that. It's okay. If you're starting off, it can be a little daunting. It's like, what is all these things I have to keep track of? You get used to it very, very quickly. And it's not so difficult. You just look at it and you're asking one question in your head. Do they look the same? If they look similar or the same, you're like, there is correlation. Then, next step, if they look the same, which one is better? Which one is better? And then you find which one is better. And then you ask the golden question. Are they desperate? Are they desperate? And if that is also a yes, then you say, how am I going to get in? What is a good deal for me? Is it 5%? Is it 10%? Is it 12%? Or am I going to get sucked in by support and resistance, trendline break, Fibonacci retracement, supply and demand? Am I going to get sucked in by all those things? Or will I use my logic and saying, in this area or price range approximately, I am okay to trade whatever technical analysis I'm good at. So you can say, I need at least 40, 50, 60% discount. And then I'm okay to take it from there. And from that moment, you can say, all right, I know 2 or 3 technical analysis things that I like to do. I like SNR, trend line, Fibonacci. And then you pull out your guns of like, I've studied this for 10 years. I'm really good at Fibonacci. And then you Fibonacci that thing. But you must have that ground level understanding of why are you trading this pair to begin with? And that's what correlation is going to help you with. And it tells you, yes, my friend, this is the one. This is the one you want to Fibonacci, that's the one you want to do. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so some of you guys are asking, what MAs do I use? I use 20, 50, and 200 EMAs. So the 20, 50, 200, that's the close settings. Okay, it's a very, very simple settings. And why those numbers? It's a random number, okay? These are whole numbers, 20, 50, and 200. There's total 3 MAs on my charts. Okay, well, there's a whole webinar on MAs that you guys can look at in case you want to do that. Okay, now here's the good stuff. You guys wanted to know about the promotions that we're doing. Yes, it is going to be a special promotion today. We are launching, for